Hey everybody, Norm here, and I'm pleased to be back with you talking about 2025 Q3, and this time it's going to be a short one because we're talking about disabling code or diagram disable structure and the features that we changed. Now, it's such a small little feature, but oh my gosh, the waves of joy that it caused me to see when we finally implemented this, I want you to feel them as well, so let's go ahead and dive into the code. So to start off, I've committed the cardinal sin of LabVIEW. I have two different instances of LabVIEW of two different versions open at the same time. And the VIs look very, very busy here, but I needed to show the difference between 2024 and 2025. So two of the same VI open in a very realistic situation. Our code runs through and we have a specific piece of code that we want to comment out. In this case, this is a logging to disk of a DACMX code. So normally, if we didn't want to call this code, what we would want to do is run the diagram disable structure around that chunk of code. But what you'll see very quickly happen is that the code that's enabled, we're missing our wire. And this would actually lead to more errors if we forgot to wire this through. And so there are other functions within LabVIEW like the while loop and the for loop that if you drop it around a node like that, it'll automatically add shift registers that you can see here to those ins and outs because LabVIEW is smart enough to go, oh, there's going to be, the data will be appropriately passed through. So let's do what every LabVIEW developer would have done in the first place. But unfortunately, with the diagram disable structure, as you saw just a moment ago, it does not do that in earlier versions of LabVIEW. It actually just has it set as that. So within 2025 Q3, things got smarter, and you can probably already see where this is going. Actually, I'll use a new feature that we had in, I think, Q1, where you can start to select a chunk of code, press Control Space, and now you can wrap that code in a specific structure. And in this case, I'll do diagram disable structure. And now you can see a couple different things that might have caught your eye. These are no longer set to use the default value. And then if we go over into the enabled case, you'll see that the wire is now wired all the way through. Now, this can happen for references, for error terminals, for classes, even for pretty much almost any data type that LabVIEW is smart enough to try to figure out what to log through your now diagram disable structure. Now, there's still some heuristics behind this, and I've seen some instances where I've had the LabVIEW structure, and if it's a bunch of numerics coming through, it might not get them exactly as you would have wanted. So be sure to always check to make sure that what it did automatically wired through made sense for your application so that you don't end up chasing down another bug. But oh, the simplicity of the diagram disable structure now as you wrap an individual chunk of code and, reduce the amount of work is fantastic. So take advantage of that feature. Let us know if you end up with any quirks, because indeed there's a little bit of smarts of what it should do. And so if that specific feature doesn't get all the different behaviors that you're expecting, let us know. File a service request, put it on the idea exchange, put it somewhere, but please don't just let it go underneath the rug, because we indeed are looking to make it as smart as possible so that you get what you need and get back to programming after you do your diagram disable structure. Thanks.